Hey, Sherry Rich channel. This is Andrew, and this is my lovely wife, Sherry Rich, with her little dog Scooby-Doo before he passed away. Um, I don't know how many of you are new to the channel or can remember, but this woman here is probably one of the most incredible people you'll have ever known. She's always been my best friend, the love of my life. She's the most caring person I've ever known. Always trying to do the best she can for everybody else. Trying to find their faith in the Lord our Jesus Christ. In His grace, we are saved through believing in Him. And she tried so hard to teach the gospel of grace to so many people. And made so many friends and followers along the way. She always liked that her channel never got too big because, she's the kind of person that liked to be able to get to know you, answer your comments, and never leave you hanging. She was a perfect example of God's love and somebody that can show all of us true love. And I'm just sad to say she passed away Thursday at 4 p.m. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to do this. This is hard. When I first met Sherry 21 years ago, this was us right here. And might have been a few years into our relationship, but more or less this was us together. Very happy person, vibrant, full of life. She'd give her shirt off her back for anybody. Always trying to look out for the babies and the animals of the world when other people wouldn't. When people came to her on her channel and she heard their pain and their confusion, she would stop what she's doing and try to reach out to them in love and help them better understand the reasonings for their own misguided thoughts and try to help them just truly get to know the Lord. I mean, she would spend hours and hours and hours on teachings that she would try to put together, even though they might have been 20 minutes long. Just trying to make sure that, she was giving you guys the right stuff and that she didn't want to leave you guys with any questions or doubts. I really don't know anybody like her. She would stand up for her friends in times where nobody else had their back. She'd get in there and she'd stand tall and fight. I mean, her nickname was Bear. Many people, that's how they knew her name. They didn't call her Sherry. They called her Bear because, well, she was a strong, person with that. Well, let's just say, I mean, she would definitely make sure that whatever the problem was, it would get done, and didn't matter what she needed to do to get it done, she would take care of it. Uh, the first time I ever met her, you know, anybody that would know me, the type of person that I shot a lot of pool and got pretty good at it over the years, and I used to run around and go to different places and find local pool tournaments and play in them, and I I do good when I go to them. I didn't win them all, but people saw me come in the door. They knew that I was going to be somebody that they had to contend with, and I had some friends that had mentioned this local bar in Lake Mary that we should go check it out. And so we got together with some friends and went out, and I walk in the bar and she was working there. I mean, she was the only one working in there, and it was pretty packed. It's not a huge place, but it was a couple pool tables, a couple of dart boards, stuff to keep entertainment, and jukebox, all that stuff. And I can just remember her just smiling and laughing and talking with people as, she's serving her beers and this and that. And when she came around the corner and I could see her hair running all the way down her back, past her knees, all the way down. And it was just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. But it wasn't until I got started to talking with Sherry and hearing her heart and everything that I just started to feel like, even though she was, 13 and a half years older than me, it was something that I was falling in love with. And, she'd try her best to push me away, I get it, we're pretty far apart in age, but, when your heart wants something, it just wants it. And it took a little bit of time, but she saw my heart too. And we slowly gained a relationship and fell in love with each other. And Scooby-Doo, he was our little boy. Amazing dog. I mean, I don't know how many of you people have animals that like to talk or can do crazy things. This little guy here, he was something else. And, I could lay on the floor and ask him to come over and give me a hug, and he'd walk up to my neck and put his arm around me and tuck his head into me. And it wasn't anything I had to really prepare him for. I guess he just knew. He could say my name. I remember the first time I came back from being gone a week, and I don't know if maybe it's just he kept hearing my name so much that he recognized it. And I came back from a vacation from about a week and opened the door, and he popped his little head around the door, and first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Andy!" As clean as day. I mean, we'll talk about driving a tear from your eye. It's like hearing your child talk for the first time. And there's other times where I'd be standing in a doorway with my wife, just talking, and I was in his way, and my Sherry and I, we would just be kind of laughing and killing the time, and all of a sudden you hear, "Move," and I'm like, stop, pause, and think, what? And I turn around, and there he is at my feet, and I move my leg over, and he just runs right in real quick, and I'm thinking, that dog just told me to move. And that was a testament to the love she had for this little thing, and she was never a dog person. She was never a cat person or animal. She thought, ooh, don't lick me, don't touch me, ooh, get away, you're cute, bye, but little Scooby-Doo, he was special. Sherry, in her first marriage before me, in childbirth, her first child, she had had big decisions to make because her body was not going to be able to let the child come to full term, and the doctors were telling her that she, was going to have to make a choice. And in her mind, it's an easy one. Of course I'm going to have it. But the doctors were telling her that if she was to try to do that, that not only would the baby probably die, but she would too. And she still fought with it, and the idea just broke her heart to think that she, her first child, and she's such a carer of children, to come to the decision that they just would have to bring the child out too early, and ended up dying there to where she didn't really even have a chance to take it in and have it as a baby of her own. And shortly after her stroke, after all this happened, she ended up having a stroke, and it was something that I guess it should have done her in. It was a miracle of God that He brought her back to us to bless all of you with her channel. She was coming back. It took her a little bit of time because this happened before me, and she slowly built her strength up little by little. Her ex-husband, I guess it was just a real hard deal for him, and he wasn't able to hang out with her and help, and just, I guess it was, I can't, it's hard to speak of it, but it didn't work out, and they went their own ways. And she fought by herself to get herself where she is today. And that's when I kind of ran into her and saw her beauty. And gosh, guys, I'm sorry. It's hard when you lose the love of your life, your best friend, your confidant. Not hearing her voice, other than, luckily, I have all these videos on my phone from the ones she's done in the past to remind me each day how special she was, and that she'll always be with me, and that she's in a better place now. She's finally got to where she's been striving for her whole life. She's with Jesus now. She's gonna be, she's finally without pain and suffering that she'd been going through for so many months that she didn't want anybody to know about. She just wanted to fight through it. She didn't want to be hooked up to medical stuff. She didn't want to be checked. She just kept living life. She was a very stubborn woman, very caring, loving woman. And it's just sad that someone who loved everyone so much with her heart, someone that tried to make sure that you weren't afraid or scared, and that you always would have peace in knowing that once saved, always saved. There's so much scripture that I wish I could say right now. My mind is having a hard time with some of it, but for John 3:16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life. God, He loved us that much. He loved us that the I just this is sacrifice alone of something so sacred to him himself, and show that his love for us isn't matched by any other, and that he sent his son here to be someone to guide us and teach us and let us know that our lives are not what we have now, but what we have forever, and believing in him. And it's not a difficult thing. That's the craziest part about it. It's not something where you have to take an essay and just hope that you got all the questions right to pass, to be eligible. You don't have to mow his lawn or you know, save a person off a bridge to be thought as a perfect person for the idea. He wanted anybody. It didn't matter, I mean, there's people that have done things that you would think, why would God help them? Or why is that person feel they should be in here? And that's just it. That's not who God is. That's not Jesus. I mean, he loved us all. He wants us all to be saved. All of us have an ability to change. We just have to be willing to do ourselves as well. And his gift was such a simple gift. And it's a gift. It's not something that he's taken back. He's having you take it to be knowing in yourself that, you know what? Wow, Father, you sent your son to go through all this for me. He actually had to die. But his death brought him to the point where he could defeat it and resurrect it and show that everything that he is about was written prior to him coming. Everything that was taught and hoped for, he fulfilled. And all he asks is that you just believe I did it. Believe it's me. I mean, why are some things that are so simple so difficult for so many people to take in? I mean, God wanted to make it easy. He has his list of things that, to try to live by in this, but his grace for what you've done is just beyond any thought in your mind that no matter what it was, he's trying to tell you he'll forgive you. He loves you. And he'll be there for you always. I mean, how many people can come up and say that about each and every being of this planet, as long as they're just willing to understand what was done for them and by who? And that's what Sherry tried to explain. And there's a lot of scriptures that she put together to do so. And as you probably follow in this channel, you'll see a lot of videos relating to, things that were going on in today and how that may translate or relate to things that she's been able to, study up on and put some things side to side together, just like a lot of other channels do, But she was really intuitive to understanding these things, and she was a a person that if you had a crazy dream that you're just like, what does this mean? I don't get it. She would be that person to say, okay, let's sit down. You need to ask you a bunch of questions real quick just to kind of get a feel for you and what some of these things may be mean. And she would go through it, and as she's doing the dream, I always remember I'd hear her say, stop. And she, whatever they were talking about, she'd take in that moment when she was trying to translate, and then she'd go, okay, go. And then, okay, stop. And then go. I mean, it was fun listening to her, with things that she got information together and slowly molded the story of what um, spiritually it meant. She was able to hear right away if it was something that was like a I can't even think of the word she used right now. Condemnation dream, or maybe it was law type situation, or just a lot of other things. Maybe she hear you talking about stuff from that you could have probably picked up from the news that might have been poking in your ear a few times that might have made you dream about something. That she could pick up on stuff like that to kind of to go with what she was saying. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm rambling, but I'm just trying to remember her the best I can. And I hope that you guys that did get to know her, I hope that you had the chance to understand the things that I'm talking about, and you got to see her too. And now it's at that time where it's difficult because I need to find a way to make sure she's where she needs to be. And she didn't want to be cremated. She told me multiple times, please just keep me together, and I don't care. You can put me in a box in a shallow grave next to Scooby-Doo. I'm good with that. And I'm like, you're crazy. Oh, and but she's not. She would always tell me when we were earlier on in our lives, you don't need to get any life insurance on us. We have the life insurance policy of Jesus Christ. We're good. And she just said, please don't do anything like that. Don't worry about it. We're going to be getting called up. There's not going to be a reason or worry or need to have that. I don't want to know about it because I don't. And, there was, I'm hoping, I'm hoping I didn't unselect the the money for the insurance on her, because it was small. I think it was like 10,000, I think, with the insurance. But I need to go check when I get home tomorrow and see if I can find some more information. But gosh, I didn't realize how expensive funerals were, how expensive they can be, and none of them take payment plans that I've found so far. And it's like everything needs to be up front, so it's just I guess we'll see what happens. It's just I just want to make sure I fulfill her wishes. I want to make sure that she's in a place that, even though I don't need to come back there or need to, she's in my heart always. But me, I know I'll find myself getting in the car, driving out to wherever it is that we have found to lay her in the ground, and just sit there in a chair and enjoy the birds chirping in the background, and bring her some fresh flowers, and just talk to her and tell her about my day, and just let her know that I never forget her, and that I know that you're with Jesus now, That me sitting here is no more than me just sitting here comforting myself. Um, and I've had people tell me to come on here and reach out and leave a PayPal and all these things. And, Sherry, we were never one to we truly never wanted to ask for help ever. Our lives were always tough, and we tried our best to fight through them the best they could. We really, truly did. I tell you, my life's been having a hard time lately, and if anybody would love to help, to give a chance for Sherry and myself to be at peace without worry, I would greatly help greatly appreciate anything that you guys feel in your hearts to put forward to help out with these hard times. Because I just don't want to have to worry anymore about her. I just wish more of you could have got to hear her. I wish more of you got to talk to her on the phone. I thank Lashara and Amanda for giving her the confidence to be able to make a channel and be able to be a part of all you guys' lives. I know her good friend Eni and Sandra and Kim and Paul and just so many others. I apologize if I missed some of your names. I really truly do. Maybe I should have done a better job about putting this together, I guess. But I guess I'll put my PayPal thingy in the link below or something, however it works out. And for some of you, that maybe the only picture you've seen of Sherry has been the one that she had put on her channel. That was when she was about 20, I think 6 years old, 27 years old in that picture. And the picture that I'm with her in, she's about 41 there, I believe. That was how old she was. And I was like 28, almost 29 there. But we loved each other more than anything. We always had each other's back. I'd do anything for her, and I did. I swear I did. I tried to do everything I could to help her. I didn't want this for her. I didn't want her to... I didn't want her. I wanted to be with her and protect her always and keep her safe. And I just tried to abide to her wishes that she wanted. That she knew in her heart was what she wanted. Even if that meant not being here anymore. But I just want to say thank you. And I love all of you so much. Even if I don't know you, I still love you. As Sherry loved you. And I hope if you feel the need, watch your channels, still watch your videos, watch your teachings. When she first started, she still trying to figure out how to use the stupid phone and how to make a video or talk into it or this and that. And as little bit goes on, she got better at it. She got really good at maneuvering around, finding stuff. She was never a computer person. Even up until her older age, she was, old school. She, it was a struggle trying to teach her, let me tell you. I mean, I think I find myself as a good teacher in a lot of things, especially with trying to teach her how to do this, but it was a fight, and